Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced 16 broad measures under the Prime Minister's Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. It is a post-pandemic financial package to help restore economic growth. The announcements by the Finance Ministry ranged from support to small businesses and non-bank lenders to employers and employees by lowering their share in statutory provident fund. The government has postponed some payments and changed some definitions, but there is nothing remarkable about this plan like some were expecting after the most recent speech of the Prime Minister. Let's see the announcements in detail now. The first one is collateral-free automatic loans of 3 lakh crore rupees for small businesses that have outstanding loans up to 25 crore rupees and a turnover of 100 crore rupees. These loans given by banks or non-bank lenders will get 100% credit guarantee by the government, will have a 4-year tenure and a moratorium of 12 months. Non-performing and stressed MSMEs will get about 20,000 crore rupees liquidity as subordinate debt. Banks will provide subordinate debt to promoters equal to 15% of their existing stake, subject to a cap of 75 lakh rupees. 50,000 crore rupees equity infusion through a fund of funds for MSMEs with a corpus of 10,000 crore rupees. The fund will operate through a mother and a few daughter funds. A new definition for MSMEs has been introduced, which raises the investment limit and eliminated the distinction between manufacturing and service sectors. Investment of under 1 crore rupees and turnover less than 5 crore rupees will be a micro business. Investment of up to 10 crore rupees and turnover up to 50 crore rupees will be categorized as a small business. Investment up to 20 crore rupees and turnover up to 100 crore rupees will be defined as a medium business. Dues by government and public sector undertakings to MSMEs will be released in 45 days. As a replacement to trade fairs and exhibitions, e-market linkage for MSMEs will be promoted. To help MSMEs in increasing their business, general financial rules for procuring goods and services by the government will be amended to disallow global tender in procurement of goods and services of value below 200 crore rupees. Easy financing and collateral-free loans will help small businesses get rid of the need to submit many documents to banks and takes away the need of a collateral while taking loans. Having no collateral for loans will make many small businesses that have land and machinery leased or rented be eligible for such advances. Actually, I feel that like other countries, the government should also contribute in paying workers' salary along with Provident Fund contribution. Now, let's see the next point. The earlier scheme in which the government paid a 12% share each of employers and employees to Employee Provident Fund will be extended for 3 months beyond May. The cost for the government for this will be 2,500 crore rupees. For 3 months, statutory PF contribution of both employer and employee cut to 10% each from 12% for all establishments covered by EPFO. This will provide liquidity of about 2,250 crore rupees per month. A special liquidity window of 30,000 crore for NBFCs, housing financiers and micro lenders will be launched. Investment will be made in primary and secondary market transactions in investment grade debt paper of these entities and will be 100% guaranteed by the Government of India. Existing partial credit guarantee scheme is improvised to cover the borrowings of lower rated NBFCs, HFCs and other micro lenders. The government will provide 20% first loss sovereign guarantee to state-run banks. Power Finance Corporation Limited and Rural Electrification Corporation Limited will infuse liquidity of 90,000 crore rupees in distribution companies in 2 equal installments to help them clear their dues to transmission and generation companies. Yet, a longer-term approach to make the sector sustainable is required. All government-owned agencies like railways, highways and Central Public Works Department will give up to 6 months extension to contractors. This will cover completion of work. This will also cover construction, goods and services contracts, completion of work, a concession period in public-private partnership. Next is extension of registration and completion date of real estate projects under RERA by 6 months. State RERAs are urged to treat COVID-19 period as force majeure. Pending income tax refunds to charitable trusts and non-corporate businesses and professions, including proprietorship, partnership and LLPs and cooperatives, will be issued immediately. 50,000 crore rupees liquidity support will be provided by cutting TDS TCS rates by 25% of existing rate. The cut in rates will be effective immediately until March 31st of 2021. The reduced rate would be applicable for payment for contract, professional fees, interest, rent, dividend, commission and brokerage. The due date of all income tax returns for assessment year 2020 to 2021 will be extended to November 30th, 2020 and due date for tax audit will be extended to October 31st, 2020. Series of measures announced by the government has given a bit of confidence to the industry that government is ready and will lead from the front in taking India out of the disruption caused by COVID-19. We also saw that the government has recognized the developmental role of NBFCs, HFCs, MFIs in the economy by announcing liquidity measures. Funds allotted earlier through the targeted long-term repo operations by the Reserve Bank of India were not reaching NBFCs and HFCs because of the clear risk aversion on the part of banks to lend under current circumstances. Now we can hope that the perceived credit risk among banks with regard to NBFCs and HFCs will come down and the flow of funds will resume to NBFCs, including those that have investment grade paper and not just AAA rated instruments. Plus, the measures announced to boost liquidity also focuses on generating consumption demand and propping up investments is needed. The measures actually may make the economy stand up. These measures will help the economy come back on track with infusion of liquidity in the market. But the Nationalist Congress Party said Finance Ministry should increase the share of MSME under the public procurement policy from the current 25% to 50%. Actually, this will greatly help MSMEs to expand their capabilities and take benefit of the corpus fund announced by the Finance Minister. Nirmala Sitharaman announced 3 lakh crore rupees collateral-free automatic loan for businesses, including for MSMEs. These loans have to be returned within 4 years. For the first year, the principal need not be repaid. Now, how far will these measures help? Let's see the answer for that question. The 3 lakh crore credit guarantee is the most substantive announcement as it will most likely have a significant impact in helping MSMEs to pay salaries as the economy slows down. According to the Finance Minister, this measure will help as many as 45 lakh MSMEs. While this is a small proportion of the overall number of MSMEs, these are likely to be the enterprises which employ almost 40% of all employees, although these enterprises themselves are very few in number, that is just about 0.5% of all MSMEs. The change in definition of MSMEs will also help because it allows a lot of firms, especially in the services sector like mid-sized hospitals, hotels and diagnostic centers, to be eligible for benefits as an MSME. Former Finance Ministers P. Chidambaram and Yashwant Sinha criticized Nirmala Sitharaman for ignoring the migrant laborers in her announcements. Chidambaram said the government must spend more, borrow more and allow states to borrow more. If we look into it, we may also find that there was not a word about the migrants, farmers and daily wage earners. There is actually nothing for the poor and hungry people. But later, after the announcement of this 20 lakh crore relief package, the government announced that 1,000 crore rupees from the PM CARES fund would be set aside to help migrant laborers. Yet, the economic package announced by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman failed to address the immediate concerns of people. Those who urgently and immediately need help are walking hungry. The important issues of hunger and joblessness were not discussed. Also, there is nothing for the state governments which have been asking for funds. Nothing even about their legitimate dues were mentioned by the Finance Minister. However, the Finance Minister said during her press conference that all the details of the package will be unveiled over the next few days. Let's wait and see how that pans out. This is all from me. Stay connected for more such updates. This is Nishad.